Now I want us to go to the doctors page and start working on the doctors. And also again, if I click here, view all, it is taking us to the doctor. So we need to work on the doctors. So I'm gonna go close all this and I'm going to go to the doctor screen here. The doctor screen, as you can remember, it looks like this. So first of all, we have the search bar here and the button here. And then we display the different specializations. And then you should be able to tap on one of these and then change the list that is appearing over here. Okay. So in the body of this scaffold, we are going to have a column. The column has children. So the first child is going to be a sized box. And I'm going to pass 10 there. The search bar widget, we're going to create it inside of this widget. So I'm going to come here to widgets and I'm going to call this search bar widget. So this is going to be our search bar widget. So it has a padding of 10 in all directions. It has a decoration, an input decoration or a hint text that says search a doctor, a hint style of that. Okay, it also has a outline border with a gap padding of 10, a border radius, and a border side. If I go back to doctor screen and I import it, and actually it is not going to be inside of the column, because if you look here, this and this are side by side. So I need to create a row here. So the first child is going to be the search bar widget. Okay. And the second one is going to be that elevated button, show all. So I'm also going to wrap this inside of a widget. So the expanded widget. And since, as you can see here, since I want the button to, the search bar to take more space than this, we can use the flex property here. So I'm going to add a flex. I'm going to give this a flex of 3. Flex of 1. It's already have a flex of 1 here, sorry. And with that, as you can see, we have that over there. Fantastic. After that row, we are going to have some space. And then we are going to display now this widget that display the different specializations. As you can see, it's almost similar to the one that is in home screen, but this one is different because now these are rectangular and there is no names at the bottom. And therefore, I'm going to go to the widgets and I'm going to create a new file, and the file is going to be Doctor Specialization widget. And this is going to be a consumer widget called Doctor Specializations widget, and I'm going to import Flutter Riverpod, and I'm also going to import material.dat file. So first of all, we are going to get the list of the specializations, okay, by loading the specialization list provider. And then now we are going to return a sized box. So the height of this sized box is going to be size config dot get proportionate height, a height of 60, and a child is going to be a list view builder. So if I save that, if I come here to doctor screen, I can now add the doctor specializations widget like that. And if I save that, so you can see now we have that. Okay, again, we can have some height here to create some spacing. And now finally, I want us to display the doctors, okay? So, and the doctors, I want them to be inside of the list view here, the list view builder here, and it should take the remaining space. And therefore, we can use an expanded widget here, and the child is going to be an async value widget, and this async value widget is going to be of type list of doctors, like that. So the value is going to be the doctor's async value. And to do that, you can come here at the top and you can say final doctor's async value equals to ref.watch, provided that you want is the doctor's load doctor's provider. We can start by passing an empty string like that. And of course, in case of an error, we should be able to show that error to the user. The value here is now the doctor's async value. And the data here is going to be a list of doctors. So doctors. So if doctors.is empty, we are going to return a center widget with a text that says no doctors available. And else we are going to show a list view builder with an item count, with an item builder, which has a context and an index. and it also has an item count of doctors.length. So here we are going to return, so the doctor equals to the doctors at the current index, like that. And then we are going to return doctor list style widget that is going to eventually take a doctor. So this is going to be a required named parameter. So we can go to widgets again, and I'm going to name this doctor list style widget, and this is going to be a stateless widget. And remember, it's taking a doctor, so we are going to pass doctor there, and I'm going to import the doctor, and here it's required this doctor, like that. So here this is going to return a list style. The leading is the circle avatar that is going to show the doctor.image URL, so this image here. And then the title is the doctor.name, so Sarakim, for example, and it has, of course, that style. The specialization, it's a column, and the first element of that column is the specialization and also the location. So it fetches the location as well. And finally, the trailing, we are just going to use an icon that shows direction. So it's like go and speak to him, or just check them out, or like see more of the information and possibly make a booking. Okay, so for now, we are just going to leave it at that for now, but we are going to come back for sure. And here I can import this. I'm going to import this doctor list style widget. Doctor list style widget has been misspelled, but it's whatever. So I can import this now, like that. So if I click on save, as you can see now, it has loaded the doctors. Okay, it has loaded the doctors that I have, and it should load the doctors that you have in your account as well. So once we tap on this inkwell, we want to update the list here to show just the doctors of that particular specialization. So the easiest way to do that, we are going to create a provider, and that provider, I'm going to call it specialization provider. So these are specialization provider. First of all, it returns, the default value is just an empty string, like that. But we can set specialization by passing a string new specialization and updating the state to that new specialization. And of course, we have the specialization notifier provider here that allows us to get to access this class here and this method here. So I'm just going to save that. So I can go now to the doctor specializations widget. So this widget here is that I'm gonna use ref.read with the specialization notifier provider dot notifier, okay, dot set specialization, and the specialization that I want is the specialization that we have here, like that. So that is what we want. But we want to make sure that the original list here, it also listens from this provider here, because we are gonna need to update that. So I'm gonna go to the doctor screen. Instead of passing this value here statically, I think we can pass it dynamically. And for that, I can say final specialization equals to ref.watch. Specialization is going to be doctor specialization provider. Let me see. Doctor specialization provider. Yeah, doctor specialization notifier provider. Sorry. It can get confusing sometimes. Final specialization equals to ref.watch specialization notifier provider. So I need to import this that way. So here, instead of just passing this value here, we can pass specialization like that. And here, we can pass specialization as well, like that. So that way, we have a list that is going to be rendered dynamically instead of just passing a static value or a hard-coded value like we had before. So let me try to hot restart the app and see if what we have done is going to work. So if I go to doctor screen, now I can try to click on the eye, for example. As you can see now, it updates to show only the eye, okay? And for the limbs, there is nothing here in the limbs. And I should be able to click on this show all to show all of them here. So here in the doctor screen, this show all, I'm going to update this and set the specialization notifier provider.notifier, and I want to set the specialization to an empty string so that now when I press on show all, it loads all the doctor site once again.